Hello, welcome back to another episode of Pen is Envy. Due to a tragic Zoom error, we did actually film this episode already, but we're gonna try and, I don't know, we'll try to make it as authentic as possible, but we do have a bit of a footing. Today we're gonna be talking about ideology. Abby, excuse me. My name is Carter. We have Faith, Ursula, and our white friend Abby. Abby, take it away.
So this week we watched Pervert's Guide to Ideology, and it follows a philosopher as he sort of talks about how ideology manifests itself in like modern day culture and like how people assimilate themselves into groups.
Weird.
Something silly about the movie that I think we like didn't talk about in our other video was, did you guys notice that he was in like the weirdest places when he was talking? Like he was on a gurney at one point and
right, but it was kind of like it followed like he kind of emulated like the set. Like
he was on the sets of the films.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that like a statement on ideology or something? Like
I don't know, it kind of adds to the effect. Like
I think he was just kind of like
so this is this movie and now this person is there in the movie telling you how you're falling for certain ideology.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool.
It was like that one he was on the toilet in one scene and he was talking about like the movie where at the end the guy like shot himself on the toilet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then he showed that.
Yeah.
And then he's like getting off the plane or whatever and Stalin and stuff.
Or during the Titanic one, he was like
anyways, today each of us are going to bring up a thing that we feel hailed by. Does anyone feel called to start?
I can start.
I can start.
Abby starts. I think you should start.
Oh wait, true. Start us off strong.
Yeah, so how I was hailed, they already know. So back in high school, I was kind of a weird kid, but just my hailing moment was when I watched the film Lady Bird, and I was just like, oh my God, I see myself in her. I literally am Lady Bird. And so I decided that I was pretty much only going to apply to colleges on the East Coast. I mean, I applied to like a few California colleges. I'm from Sacramento, by the way. Not actually Sacramento, but like the Sacramento area, which Lady Bird is from. And so I applied to a bunch of schools on the East Coast, and that's how I ended up at Clark. I was hailed to the East Coast, and that is my story.
But what's interesting about Lady Bird to me is that, so the film, like probably I would say 95% of it takes place on the West Coast, and it follows this girl, Lady Bird or Christine, and it just like through her very mundane high school life that Abby felt really called to. But when she does go to the East Coast, she just goes to a party, ends up in a hospital because she drinks too much, and then she wakes up the next morning and like calls her mom or something. Yeah. It's like there is no glorification of the East Coast.
Lady Bird really calls to the people who feel like a big fish in a small pond mentality. Like it's like this place is not meant for me because it's too boring and I'm too cool to be here, so I need to get out. And Abby was too cool for her Sacramento little tiny California town.
Wait, that is so true.
You guys are just calling me out.
Yeah, because when she goes to the party, I guess like when she goes to the party, part of the thing is like I'm sure the directors and storyboarders were aware of this. It's just the fact that she goes to New York and she's just some random ass white girl at a party. You know, nobody gives a shit about her. And she has this feeling that she can reinvent herself and be, you know.
Oh my God. Bitch. And Abby, you talk about this all the time. So I'm going to like kind of quote you on this, but how like everyone was kind of like the unique, quirky kid at their high school. And then like we're all just like a melting pot of like unique, quirky kids. And like we're not unique anymore because everyone's unique. And that's like arguable. I'm not going to like go into it. But like I think the same thing happened with Lady Bird. Like she was like this like super cool figure at her like old school and kind of like antagonistic and stuff. I don't really remember.
Was she cool though?
I feel like she was like she thought she was being cool, and I don't know. I guess that's what counts.
No, I
But
thought
then she comes to
No.
New York and she's like the same as everyone else.
no. I feel like she's more.
Is that
like,
not the plot?
Like,
I haven't seen the movie.
I'm poor in this rich town, and I'm quirky, and I'm gonna try and hook up with this pretty kid, and I just need to get to the East Coast. Nobody
Yeah.
understands me here.
Nobody understands me.
Ooh.
That's like a big
Ouch.
thing. That's a
This
big
is just like 5 minutes of you guys roasting me.
Sorry,
Like,
Abby.
actually, well, you brought it up. You were like, I felt hailed by Lady Bird, so we're like, what else are we gonna do?
Yeah,
Isn't
so
that the
else are we
whole
gonna
point
do?
of this prompt?
I'm roasting myself by comparing myself to Lady Bird. I
someone
like
who hasn't seen the movie, what about Lady Bird, the character, do you relate to? Like, I don't know.
The whole it's just
what do I relate to?
Yeah. Like, what
Oh.
about her do you relate to?
I was like, oh my god, she has the same personality as me. I like have a lot of family issues at home too, and so I was like, oh my god, her family issues, they literally mirror mine. And like
when she
I
jumps
will-
out of the car.
Oh my
yeah,
god!
and I was like, I'm just some quirky kid like trying to be cool
I will
in this
vouch for
boring
Abby
town.
though, because Lady Bird is like a bitch. She's really annoying. She's this very like mundane, like annoying, slightly bitchy girl, and I would say Abby is not.
I would
Oh,
agree.
thank
I
you.
don't think you guys
Abby, I
have
don't
similar
think you're a bitch at
personalities.
all.
But I think that's the point, though.
I think I
This-
can be a bitch though. So that's why I was like, I'm Lady Bird. I'm so
Right.
I think I did over exaggerate it though.
Next episode, we will be breaking down all the ways that Abby is a bitch.
Stay tuned. It'll be great.
Subscribe to our channel. It's not too late.
Right. But the point is, I think a lot of people, a lot of white girls probably just feel connected to Lady Bird, even though she's just like everyone else. But
Every
the
other
way
white
they
girl.
make the film is that she's not like everyone else. This is a big
She's
thing we're
not
talking about.
like other girls.
Not like other girls.
I
Like,
fell into that trap. I was like, I am not like other white girls, but I'm just every other white girl who watched Lady Bird at the time.
Mhm.
Ursula, do you want to talk about your not like the
Okay.
other girls?
My not like the other girls thing is definitely the music I listen to. I listen to a lot of albums and I feel really called to like, or really hailed by albums, and I'm like, wow, this song is like my life, or like my soundtrack to my life right now, or like this song like really defines me. Right now it's the album And Star Power by Foxygen, and a lot of it is noise, a lot of it is like kind of like out of place, but also a lot of it is like genuinely good stuff, like, or at least I think so. I think you guys would like it. Give it a listen. But I think like it's not pop music, it's not like stuff you'd hear on the radio, and I also really do appreciate like the noise and the like intermittence. So yeah, I guess I'm not like the other girls.
Like, I listen
But-
to psychedelic rock, and
Yeah.
this is music that you might not like because you don't understand it.
This is kind of something that we talked about last time, but not super in depth. Is just like, I feel like part of hailing both feeds into and like sort of defeats the whole I'm not like other girls thing, because it's like you feel hailed to something, you're like, wow, this is so specific to me as a person. Like, I relate so strongly to this, no one else could. Not to go back to Abby's example, but like watching Lady Bird and being like, wow, I really relate to this. I am her. No one else. It's just us two. But then also, you can look around and you're like, wow, all of these other hundreds of thousands of people also are Lady Bird, are listening to these albums. Like, they are the same as me. I'm not like other girls, but like I am like other girls. We're all the same girl.
I think we're all like, as the individual, we are categorizing. The thing is, really, what we're doing is we're trying to make meaning of our meaningless lives. Like, we are just a species that that have opposable thumbs and developed a way to communicate, and then all of a sudden we're here, and so we're trying to be like, yes, like I have personality and I have interests, and so we try to other ourselves from people, and trying to like push ourselves and other people down, ourselves up and other people down. But it's like, for what? Like in the grand scheme of things, we're all, I guess. Oh, what's his face is arguing that it's just like, it's pointless.
I think it's really interesting that you brought like the whole trying to make meaning out of our meaningless lives situation, because that definitely is like what we're trying to do as humans. But it's really interesting when people feel like hailed by more abstract forms like music and visual art, because it's kind of like there's not a specific thing that you're supposed to take out of it the same way you are from a movie character who's like much more human and much more connected to you, but you kind of have to interpret it yourself and take out what you think you can. And that like specifically reminded me of this artist. I forget his name, but he's like a Polish like nightmare artist, and he just like
Nightmare
paints.
artist.
Yeah, that I watched a YouTube video and that's what it was called. I might have to go back, but he paints like these really scary dreamscapes, and it's with all these like people tangled together and like creatures and buildings and stuff. And he untitles all of his paintings are untitled, even though they're super detailed and intricate, because he doesn't
Wait, I think I know who you're talking
Yeah, I
about.
think
What's his? Yeah, he's like
What
pretty
is his
famous.
name?
Maybe you
It's
can,
like something unrememberable.
Abby, when
I'm
you're
pretty
editing,
sure.
maybe you can pull it up.
But like
Yeah,
point,
I'm pretty sure I watched the same documentary.
it was like 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't want people to give it a meaning. He just wants it to be something to behold and like people to be called to because of the way it looks, not because of any
But I think
ideological
I would
concept.
argue though that has developed a culture though, like creating something that isn't supposed to be that deep, like is you see like that is a thing to be hailed by also.
Were you
I don't think
guys
it's a bad thing. I personally think like yes, like in the grand scheme of things, it's stupid what we're doing, but it's like fuck off. Like humans are trying to laugh and love and be happy, and to be loved. Like, what's the harm,
raise your hand if you were hailed by the banana duct tape to the wall at the MoMA? Just me.
Ursula,
Okay.
it's just you.
Sorry, guys.
Ursula.
I thought it was beautiful.
You're like, I really thought everyone's gonna raise
I thought
their
everyone
hand.
was gonna raise their hand.
Okay, sympathy
You guys,
hand.
I'll do it
sympathy
for
hand.
you, for Ursula.
Wow.
Have you seen that? It's like a sculpture and it's like a stone, and then it has like another stone taped to it, and also it's like it's a structure that eats lettuce. They put lettuce in it like every week and replace it so it looks like it's eating the lettuce. It
Oh
just
my God,
reminded me of
Abby.
that.
Or Faith, can you send that to Abby so she can put it in?
Yeah, I will.
Why? So, can I ask Faith why you brought that up?
Oh, I was just reminded of it
Oh,
with the banana on the wall.
No reason.
Anyways, back to hailing. Faith, did you want to talk about your thing?
Yeah,
or-
sure. Unfortunately, my hailing object was not the sculpture that eats lettuce.
Sad.
Instead, it was a TikTok that I saw while scrolling through TikTok for a very long time. As we know and have talked about in class, the TikTok algorithm becomes very specified to you. It's based off of what you like and look at and comment on, whatever. So it's not like strange that I will find TikToks on my For You page that I am hailed by, that I relate to very strongly. The one that I'm bringing. A little bit of everything, all rolled into one. I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch. So basically, I felt like I related to this a lot just because personally, I can get overwhelmed by things sometimes, especially noise. I don't know if that's a hashtag relatable to anyone else. You're with a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff happening. It's a little overwhelming. It's easy for me when I get very overwhelmed to become a little bitchy. Not to go back again to Abby's example. I'm so sorry, Abby, but it just keeps coming. So Lady Bird, a little bitchy. I haven't seen Lady Bird. Maybe I can relate to that. I don't know. But it's easy to get a little bitchy when you're not feeling the greatest, So I just watched it and I was like, wow, that hits a little too close to home. And it really hailed me, That's my 2 cents on the subject.
Shall I talk about my hailing?
Okay, yeah, go for it. I was
well,
just, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. No. Go. Go,
I
go,
was just
go.
gonna say that it's like a trap. It's like TikTok is a trap to hail
Yeah.
you. Like that you definitely said that, but like we're just like fish caught up in the net. Why do I keep
Yeah.
talking about fish today?
Fruit flies and honey.
No,
That's
it's
us.
like-
that.
It's curated for you, and it's meant to just continually stroke your ego and to keep feeding
It
into
does
the
make
capitalist
it
hellscape.
a little scary when there's something that's totally not relevant to you at all that shows up, because I have no idea what I did. Like, are they just giving me something to see if I like it? Is that what's happening?
They're
Or
just
have
seeing
I...
if, they're seeing if you'll
Expand
take
the
the bait.
algorithm.
Yeah, like, what's happening there? Did
No,
I
but-
accidentally like it, or is it bait?
No, I think it's bait. I think sometimes they
I'm gonna
want
hope so.
They're like, you know what? Faith is really deep in the I get bitchy when I'm overwhelmed TikTok, so we're gonna throw in some let's say fishing TikTok, fish talk or whatever. No.
I want to know what I did to get that video of the pig eating the Taco Bell burrito
I think
last night.
whatever
I sent
it
it to
was
Faith and Ursula.
Was
Carter,
right.
I didn't send it to you,
That
but I'll
made
insert
me
it.
really happy though.
It's a really good video.
That hurts.
It's a good
Abby.
one.
It's a really...
Taco Bell Day.
Bottle beef quesadilla. Fuck yeah.
It was like 1 a.m. and I was just dying. I think I watched it like 18 times.
But
It's
there's-
I think
eating
I don't know
Taco
what you
Bell.
did, but it was right. You did something
Right.
right.
Obviously, it you felt understood. You were like, this is content that I enjoy. Thank you, TikTok.
It's a good video.
But it
Um,
didn't like call you because you were late to it. I don't think it just called you because it was
I
just a
liked it.
beautiful piece of like satisfaction and like witnessing another creature's happiness in the moment. You're like,
I would
I could
question
be.
if
but-
anyone didn't
No.
like seeing it.
No, that's
Come
the
on.
thing. But would everyone enjoy that? No.
I feel like most people should.
I
I
would
don't think
enjoy
so.
it a lot, and I did enjoy it a lot.
I feel like that's like something to tell whether someone's a quality human. Like, just show them that video. If they're like, I don't like it, get out.
Well, so it was a pig eating Taco Bell.
Yeah, but the crust.
Yeah.
So good.
But are there? I'm
It
sure
was really
there's
good.
going to be some animal rights activists saying like that's so cruel feeding a pig like beef or what if
Pigs
it's
will
pork
eat
Pigs can eat
anything.
anything.
Pigs will eat anything. You
As
put like
the,
literally
um,
like pigs and
yeah.
goats, put anything
Really?
in front of them, they will eat it.
Wow.
It's a thing.
As the resident country girl, I have raised pigs in the past. I've owned quite a few pigs in my lifetime, and they do
No.
eat anything.
Oh,
Not like
Kinda
other
feel a little
girls. But yeah, it's a thing where if you
Oh no.
if you,
Oh,
you
no.
put like a dead body with pigs, they will just eat all of it.
Mhm.
That's a
Okay,
fact I know.
I think
just
we've
off the top of
strayed
my
too
head.
far. We've strayed too far.
I mean, people
Maybe a
eat
little bit.
pigs, so why can't pigs eat people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Unpopular opinion.
guys,
I mean, a lot
we're all
of
done.
animals
We're all
are just
done with
more
pigs. We're all done with pigs.
okay.
I was
Done with pigs.
disgusted.
It's like just like a lot of animals will just eat stuff. Like chickens eat their own eggs pretty often.
It's
like
true.
it's a thing.
It's
I've
true.
seen-
We
it's
should
not-
eat our own poop. Reply snap.
I don't think that's quite
Too
the-
far, Carter.
It's not the right
Too far.
correlation there. I don't
And
think
this is
chicken and
where-
eggs is human and poop.
This is where Carter talks about what hails them.
Good transition.
Moving on.
Suddenly, I have to go. So in the episode that nobody is lost to the void, I had brought up superheroes, which I think a couple of us also felt hailed by, and I think it's the idea that if you think about like, let's say Batman. I was a Marvel fan, but for the sake of this example, Batman, right? He's an orphan? Am I correct?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he had a lot. He had a hard life, but then he like transformed that into something amazing and cool.
But he's also a billionaire, so like his life
Yeah,
wasn't
he
that
could've-
hard.
Yeah.
I'm not like I don't know a lot about Batman, but I do think that he could have done more. Just like he could have spent money on like infrastructure and like I don't know, restorative justice.
This man
instead
is a
of just
capitalist.
like running around and punching people in his little bat outfit. Like he could have done something else. That wasn't his only
What was
choice.
the other point we had said about superheroes?
That they were gay.
Gay people, like all gay kids, like superheroes.
Because
That's, like,
they are the underdogs of society.
yeah. It's kind of like all, like, I don't know if this is like 100% right, because just like
Like,
talking about Batman made me think of it, but like there are people who are privileged and are gay and they still struggle quite a bit because of their like identity. And like I think superheroism is like a solace in that regard, because like you have privilege but also you have this thing like removed from you that like others you in a sense,
oh,
and you have to like regain that power, and like that's kind of similar to a superhero arc.
I remembered it was the "It Could Be You" arc that
Yeah,
I
Peter
feel held
Parker.
by. It's like anyone could have gotten bitten by that spider, and it makes me think of like the lottery and just different things that like little scraps that the dogs on top throw for everyone at the bottom to fight over. But it's also like the lottery keeps people going, and feel good movies where one person strikes out and makes a name for themselves. Like that's what keeps the working class
Oh,
going.
I thought you were talking about the lottery as in the story where they like throw the stones.
Wait,
No,
are
no,
you
no,
not
no.
talking about that?
No, the lottery, like
Like the
the
actual real life
Powerball.
The
lottery.
actual
I don't know why
lottery.
that's what I first thought
Oh.
of.
Does
That
make sense?
story messed me up for like
Yeah.
years.
Wasn't it written by someone in Vermont?
I wouldn't doubt
I
it.
think it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah,
Does that make
superheroes.
sense? It's like you feel hailed by like as like somebody who grew up like in a low income family. Like it's hailed by it could. Well, does that really work as a hailing?
What does like the "it could be you" sort of thing?
Yeah.
I feel like it does because you can very easily like put yourself onto the characters. Like you could see yourself as this character.
Mhm.
Like I know that for the last one I was talking about Peter Parker, Spider-Man specifically. For those who don't know, Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And just saying
Spoiler.
like
No,
sorry.
don't give it away.
Hate to spoil it for everyone.
Now we
But
have
like
to
while
film a
you're
whole new video.
I know, I'm sorry, I messed it up for everyone. But like while you're watching it, like especially as like a high schooler, this is probably like when I first no, that's not true. But like as a high schooler watching Spider-Man, like he's just like another guy. Like I was also a high schooler, like dealing with high school problems. Like if I got bit with a radioactive spider, that would be me.
Oh, you know what? I think part of it too for me was like usually the superheroes have like a kind of hard upbringing, and it's like I think it's the fact that nobody knows, and it's like I felt called to this person who puts on a smile but like has struggles, but that's true
Yeah.
for literally anyone, because
Yeah.
nobody's going around with a sign that has all their problems. You know what I mean?
And like it kind of goes two ways too. Like you are called to media for a certain reason, but you're also shaped by the media you consume. So it's kind of this like cycle like of positive feedback in a way. So like if you like can validate yourself through watching these things, you can kind of like align to that identity more of like you have this like hidden thing that will uplift you in the future or something
Yeah.
like that.
Like the quote, it's one of the conditions for ideology that we had in the reading, but ideology represents imaginary relationships of individuals to their real conditions of existence.
'Cause it's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
we're
you can
all
go, Carter.
thank you. Well, we're all feeling hailed by and following this ideology in order to feed into the self-image um, that that we have of ourselves, and also the image that we want other people to be perceiving.
Yeah.
us
Yeah, I feel like
Another
that
quote.
also.
The
Go
tell
ahead,
of
quote.
ideology.
You got it.
as.
The tell of ideology is in your practice. That's just another quote from the reading.
Nice quoting.
Oh yeah, you go.
Okay, so I think with superheroes specifically, the reason why so many of them are relatable to like minorities specifically is because most of these superheroes are based off of like the original superheroes, which were based off of the like lived experiences of Jewish authors and comic creators. So like living in society as sort of the other, like everything is based off of that. And so everyone who is the other, whether it's like I mean, anyone who isn't cis or straight or white or whatever, you know, like those people are gonna see it and be like, I see myself in that, you know?
I'm sorry, Ursula. Were you gonna say something?
I feel like it's not relevant anymore, but then like why are all the Marvel superheroes white?
That is a really
Yeah,
good
'cause
point.
they sort of have been like co-opted into the.
I think part of the superhero thing too is like they come from the ground. So then, even though they're these big, high and mighty heroes, they help the low lives. You know, low lives.
Robin Hood syndrome.
Robin Hood.
Like they go and because they know what it's like, they always stand up for the little guy, and I think that appeals to a lot of people too.
Yeah.
Also, though, that can really feed into something toxic, like the illusion that you're a good person through like what you do. And like we were talking about greenwashing in the other video, and like how Zizek talked about Starbucks and how like you're told that like spending an extra like $2 on coffee will save like these people in Africa working on the fields, when really you're just saving like 6 gallons of water. And it's just like really fake, and like you see it everywhere. Like you see like commodities telling you that you're saving the world through what you buy, but it's really these like, it's not on an individual to save the world, it's on like the corporations, and like there's no ethical consumerism under capitalism, and that's just how it do be sometimes.
Like choosing a Starbucks over whatever the fuck. It's like you're still participating in consumerist culture that keeps people like way down here and other people like way up here.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta support local businesses.
Go to Acoustic Java.
And then I brought up the fact last episode that, again, as the resident hick, I know my fair share of about agriculture, and when things are like labeled as organic, they're not actually organic, because there's like a certain window of time where you can't use pesticides on like crops for it to be considered organic crops, or like animals or whatever. And so a lot of those like organic things that you see labeled at the store are just like, you did use those pesticides and those like steroids at the beginning, but you just like made sure that you didn't use it in that certain window so you could like actually label it as organic. And so it's not,
so they could still use the pesticide.
They still use the pesticides, but they don't use as much as the other farmers do, because they want to be able to label themselves as organic so people like feel better about
would you
themselves.
say it's even worth it? Like,
it's not even worth it, because you're still getting the pesticides, just not within that window of like time period. Unless you know exactly where it's coming from, like a family farm that guarantees no pesticides at all, it's not worth it. Like the organic popcorn, you're going to buy it from the store, is the same as the regular popcorn.
Yeah, it's like if you're buying locally, then yes, you can know like this is what's happening. But like any other thing, it's like, okay, sure, there's less of a chance of me like consuming pesticides because it's been however long since they last put it on there. So sure, that's good if you're worried about that specifically. But like, you know.
I just remembered that in the last episode, Abby was the first and only person to use the I word.
Yeah.
Did we go to
I don't think we used the I word today.
No, actually Carter used it.
No, I didn't. Were you doing a mental tally?
I was doing a mental tally.
When did I use it? When did I use it?
Abigail, I'm
like
so
at the
proud.
beginning.
Wow.
It's not looking good for Carter. I'm like,
It's
let's eat our own poop. And I use the word. At least I'm not Abby, right? Am I right?
At least you're not a colonizer.
Trying to redeem yourself now, are you?
Am I right? At least I didn't feel hailed by Ladybird.
It's not like a bad movie. It's like a statement on
I think it got
people.
way too much hype. And it just has stupid Timothy Chalamet Dong. And he's not even that pretty.
What?
Do you hate Timothy Chalamet?
Chalamet.
No.
Chalamet?
Chalamet, no.
Timothy Salamander.
Timothy Chameleon.
That's him.
My
Guys.
favorite thing is like Benedict Cumberbatch, but it's like
Oh my god, yeah.
it's
My
like
mom says Benedict
Cumbersquatch.
Cumberbitch.
Benedict Cucumber. Burberry Cucumber.
Okay, you want to end the recording?
Yeah.
Alright.
Wait, are we at 30 minutes?
Yeah.
I think
think
we're
so,
good.
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Oh,
By the end of this, we're gonna be so good.
We're gonna be famous.
I don't think we've.
I
actually
meant so
been
good
good.
at like
I used to be
doing
really
the pen
good at
thing.
No, I think we all suck, and I have a different pen than when I
My
started
lighting has
with.
been changing the whole episode, so.
I used to be very good at this.
Yeah.
Whoa, Abby, you got it.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
No.